This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
6 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We'll get a check of your forecast in about 60 seconds. But first, we are following several breaking stories right now. The first being Metro Police are investigating an apparent shooting downtown. This all happened around 3 this morning at West Washington Street and South White River Parkway West Drive. Metro Police say they got a call saying a man had jumped off the bridge into the White River. But when they arrived on scene, they found a man near the river with a gunshot wound to the head. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. At this hour, investigators are still trying to piece everything together.
Also this morning, fire officials are working to find out what caused this fire inside of a strip mall. This scene unfolded near 54th in Keystone around 1 o'clock this morning. Investigators saying that most of the fire damage was to a restaurant called Mississippi Belle. A few other businesses did have some smoke damage, and thankfully no injuries were reported.
We are also following breaking news out of Newton County near West Lafayette. Authorities say they are battling a massive commercial fire. You can see the pictures right there on your screen. The fire is at S&S Plastics in Kentland. Officials say the fire started around midnight. Crews from as far away as West Lafayette are helping fight the fire. At this hour, firefighters have not determined what started that fire. Here at 6:01, though, we want to turn things over to Alyssa Donovan. Temps are feeling more fall-like, and they're going to cool down once we get to the weekend, Alyssa.
That's right. It's going to be a big change by the weekend, a big change from what we saw last week as well. Right now, we are starting in the 50s and 40s this morning, 50 degrees in Indianapolis, 46 in Lafayette, and in Plainfield, we're at 48, Greenwood at 45. We are seeing those temperatures continue dropping this morning. That's because of those clear skies. That high pressure is still in control, allowed for that radiational cooling overnight, also going to allow for some very quick daytime heating today. What's going on to our south right now is we do have a cloud deck that's starting to push in. That's going to bring us just a little bit of cloud coverage throughout the day, mainly for southeastern counties, but we will see a little bit of that cloud coverage reach central Indiana by this afternoon. It won't prevent us from warming up. It will just add a little cloud coverage to our sky today. There will still be plenty of sunshine, so that's the good news. Temperatures today climbing quickly. We will be into the 50s this morning by 10 a.m., mostly sunny skies. Very nice at the noon hour, into the 60s. Coming up, I'll have details on showers and thunderstorms in the 7-day forecast.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Here's a look at traffic right now. This is on the northeast side, I-465 near Pendleton Pike. Traffic is picking up, as you can see on your screen, but it's moving along just fine. So let's take a look across town from our Traffic Now map over on the west side. Planning out your drive through Brownsburg on the interstate. State Road 267 traveling eastbound to the I-465 ramps. You can expect a 7-minute commute, so there's no delays here to slow you down.
RTV6 is working for you this morning. A West Side woman says her and her neighbors have been out without hot water for nearly a week now. This morning, the people living at Lexington Green and Village Capri and Speedway don't believe they'll ever get hot water. Tiffany Strait tells RTV6 she's put in countless maintenance requests and paid her rent on time. She says she simply wants property managers to follow through and fix things.
Granted, when you're in an apartment complex, there's a lot of maintenance issues and stuff like that, but nobody says that anything's done.
Tiffany reached out to the Marion County Health Department. They plan to check out the complex over the next several days and hopefully get the ball rolling on the fixes needed.
At 6:03, now to a heartbreaking accident. This was down in southern Indiana. Police saying that a 2-year-old boy has died following a scooter crash. The crash happened Monday night in Sellersburg, and authorities say the young boy was being pushed on the non-motorized scooter by other children. The toddler fell off the scooter and hit his head when taking a turn. Officers say that boy was not wearing a helmet.
The search continues for a hit-and-run driver who killed a teen boy on a motorbike nearly 1 month after the crash. 14-year-old Luis Daniel Patino Ortega was killed on Coyle Street near 64th and Michigan Road on September 11th. His mother hopes the driver turns themselves in. She also hopes changes will be made to prevent future crashes. A longtime family friend helped translate for Luis's mother, telling RTV6 the family had concerns about speeding drivers on their dark street for a long time.
They didn't know who to call, who to reach out to, but they wanted to put speed bumps. And they kept saying someone is going to get hurt. You know, God forbid someone should get killed out there.
IPL tells RTV6 the city has submitted proposals to add streetlights on Quayle Street, and the family says they are not aware of any arrests in the case. At 6:04, even though the temperatures just started to feel like fall, it is already time to start thinking about the flu.
That's right, and Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what you need to know about protecting yourself and also your family from the flu this season. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so we all know once the temperatures start to drop and it gets colder outside, germs start spreading, more people start getting sick, and the best way to prevent yourself from getting sick is getting the flu shot. I spoke to Dr. James Wood, a pediatric infectious disease specialist at Riley Children's Hospital, and he says it's important for everyone to get the vaccine, but children under the age of 2 are the most susceptible to infectious diseases. However, he says kids younger than 6 months old cannot get the flu shot, so he recommends pregnant mothers get the flu vaccine. That way, their child will be protected. If you haven't gotten the shot yet, Dr. Wood says it's important that you don't wait any longer.
So we really want people to get the flu vaccine before the flu season hits. And the main reason for that is because we know the flu vaccine is very effective, but it only can work if you get it before you get infected or exposed to the virus. And so we want everybody to get it before the big flu season hits, which is typically end of the fall, early winter.
Dr. Wood says sometimes people do get the flu after receiving the vaccine, but having the vaccine in your system can help to make the symptoms less severe and can keep you from being hospitalized. We've got a list of walk-in flu shot clinics, that are happening in Marion County this month. You can head over to theindychannel.com for that list. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. The CDC says most pregnant women are not receiving a recommended part of their routine prenatal care. Health officials say moms-to-be are not getting flu and whooping cough vaccines. According to the CDC, more than half of pregnant women reported receiving both vaccinations. Experts say the mom's vaccines can protect their babies during a time when the infants are still too young to get vaccinations. The CDC's report claims not getting the vaccines put the moms and their future newborns at greater risk of infection, hospitalization, and death.
At 6:06, we are covering education this morning. Leaders with Indianapolis Public Schools and the city will talk about the district's growth and future. Leaders will hold the district's first ever IPS State of the District address. It's tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Shortridge High School on North Meridian Street. Registration is required to attend. You can register by going to myips.org.
At least 2 IMPD officers are being credited for helping evacuate residents out of a burning apartment building. We brought you this story as breaking news on Good Morning Indiana Tuesday morning. The fire started just before 3 yesterday morning at Cumberland Manor Apartments. Fire officials say a Cumberland officer and an IMPD officer kicked in the door of an apartment and rescued a family of 3. Later today, we're expected to hear from those officers. This morning, a 40-year-old woman remains in critical condition following the fire.
A new face has jumped into the race for governor in 2020. Democratic State Senator Eddie Melton of Gary has filed candidacy paperwork to run to lead the Hoosier State. Melton will officially announce his candidacy at an event in Gary, and this happened last night. Melton joins former Indiana Health Commissioner Woody Myers and tech executive Josh Owens as candidates for the Democratic nomination for governor. Republican Governor Eric Holcomb is seeking re-election.
The first weekend of mobile sports betting is in the books in Indiana. It opened up on Thursday, and we've learned DraftKings paid out more than $300,000 to people here in the Hoosier State who bet on the Colts to beat the Chiefs Sunday night. DraftKings is one of 2 available options for mobile sports betting. A representative says the company is taking steps to cater to the Indiana market.
We'll continue to educate. We'll continue to make sure that there's fabulous content out there. We will adapt our site as we see what people in Indiana want to see.
Indiana is the 3rd state to allow for mobile sports betting after New Jersey and West Virginia.
Well, winter might be kind to your energy bills. Both Citizens Energy and Vectren announcing that they expect the winter heating bills to be actually lower than they were last year. That's assuming temperatures are normal. Citizens estimates the total natural gas bill for November through March will be about $430. That's down from $484 last winter. Vectren estimates that bills in that same period will be about $440 to $450, down from $490 last year. If you need winter heating assistance, we do have resources for you that you can check out right now. It's in this story in the RTV6 app. Redacted memos from the Mueller investigation will soon be heading to Democrats in the impeachment investigation. Just after the break, why the issue is creating a new battle over what information can be released.
And a donation at a Florida Goodwill store leads to an entire street being shut down. Straight ahead, the dangerous donation that had shoppers panicking. Alyssa.
Well, we are starting chilly again this morning, but we are warming quickly this afternoon into the mid-70s. A beautiful fall day on tap. However, we do have some changes through the 7-day forecast. Those details coming up.
Today at Speedway.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 612 here on your Wednesday. Here's a live look at I-465 and Keystone Avenue. This is on the north side where traffic's picking up, moving along just fine. No crashes in this area to slow down your commute.
The Trump administration will provide redacted memos to Democrats in the impeachment probe. The Justice Department agreed to give the House 33 FBI memos from the former special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. DOJ officials say the redactions are necessary, quote, to protect confidential communications. Meanwhile, a U.S. District Court is pressing the House over what other protected information they can gain access to. The House's general counsel argues the House sets its own rules and federal courts should allow lawmakers to have whatever they need to investigate impeachment.
Here at 6:13, the rape case against former NFL star Antonio Brown will now be heard in a Florida state court. Lawyers for Brittany Taylor say they voluntarily dismissed their lawsuit from federal court and refiled it in state court. The new civil case demands a jury trial on rape, battery, assault, false imprisonment, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress. In her filings, Taylor accuses Brown of rape and 2 instances of sexual assault. Taylor used to train the wide receiver, and Brown denies those allegations.
The Los Angeles Lakers are set to speak to the media today ahead of an exhibition game in Shanghai. Although the game is being played in China, it won't be shown on TV there. That's because China's state broadcaster canceled plans to show a pair of NBA games after the Houston Rockets GM tweeted, then deleted support for an anti-government protesters in Hong Kong. Everyone was ordered out of a Florida Goodwill store after a grenade was discovered in a donation area. They say someone dropped it off at the thrift store. The bomb squad is determining whether the grenade is alive or not. The potentially deadly donation closed parts of a busy road.
Champion gymnast Simone Biles is celebrating another huge accomplishment this morning. She just won her 21st World Championship medal in Germany. The accomplishment makes Biles the most decorated female gymnast in the world. 15 of her medals are gold, and that's the most ever in gymnastics history. A 22-year-old is just 2 medals short of Vitaly Sherbo's all-time record of 23 among men or women. Here at 6:14, we want to toss things over to Alyssa for a look at today's forecast.
And we are going to see a beautiful fall day today, a little bit above average with those temperatures. Usually we're in the upper 60s this time of year. We're climbing into the mid-70s, 76 for today's high. But as you head out the door this morning, it's going to be a little chilly, 48 by about 8 a.m. this morning. So we're still seeing those temperatures drop off, yet that is partially due to that clear air, those clear conditions in place. High pressure remains in control today, allowed for us to cool way down overnight last night. Some areas even skating the 30s this morning. Those cool spots like Crawfordsville, you are in the 30s right now. What's happening next as we head through the day is we have this cloud coverage just down right around Kentucky. That's starting to push into parts of Indianapolis, and we are going to see just a little bit of cloud coverage as we head through the day across central Indiana. The good news is it's not going to eliminate that sunshine completely. We're still going to see plenty of sun. So by the noon hour, we'll start to see partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies, and temperatures will be into the mid-60s. So we are warming very quickly because we're starting so clear this morning. That's going to allow us to climb very fast with those temperatures. Continuing to see just a few high clouds hanging around by the afternoon and early evening, with those temperatures climbing above average into the mid-70s. Now, just off to our west, while we're seeing all this beautiful, nice weather, we have a low pressure system that's developing over Montana. That's bringing winter storm warnings to that area right now. That is going to continue to amplify as it moves towards the Midwest tomorrow and into Friday. By Friday afternoon, that's going to be our best chance of seeing the activity from that system. We are not going to see the snow that they're seeing in Montana. What we are going to see is the potential potential of some heavy rainfall, possibly some strong thunderstorms as well. The good news is it's going to be short-lived. Looks like Friday afternoon, overnight, and then early Saturday morning, likely before you even wake up, is when that system is going to move through. By Saturday afternoon, we are going to see some more changes. So we had that mild air in place throughout this week. We've actually seen those temperatures climbing a little bit. And next we have this cooler air mass. This is going to be the coolest air that we've seen so far this season. That's going to settle into place, taking our temperatures way down. So Saturday morning, we might even see our first frost. Those temperatures will start in the 40s, 56 degrees for our high on Saturday, 64 degrees on Sunday. That's where we should be this time of year, in those mid-60s. So we are going to stabilize back to those averages as we start next week. But today, another beautiful day, mostly sunny skies, 76 for the high, 79 tomorrow. Then those afternoon showers and thunderstorms move in on Friday.
Alyssa, thanks. Let's take a live look right now in Carmel, US 31, a little south of 116th Street. Traffic here is picking up, as you can see, both northbound and southbound. No crashes or delays in this area to slow down your commute. And you can take a look here at our traffic now map in the metro area, looking really good at this hour. Here heading southbound on I-69. It's a 13-minute drive from State Road 13 all the way down to I-465. Okay, so do you have smart meters for any of your utilities yet? Well, utility companies are installing them, so you no longer need a visit from the meter reader.
Some of those installations, however, are causing problems. Working for you, John Mattery shows you what sometimes can go wrong so you don't waste your money.
Many homeowners are getting high-tech new gas, electric, and water meters these days. But what if you discover a problem you never had before right after that new meter is installed? Well, one woman wanted to know who's responsible. Erica Diaz has no hot water.
It's cold.
She says it happened when a contractor replacing old analog meters on her street shut off her natural gas. When they turned it back on, her water heater wouldn't light. So she says she called the contractor and her utility and got nowhere. 5 days with no hot water?
No hot water.
Erica says the problem is that nobody wanted to take responsibility. And they told her that, well, maybe you have a bad hot water heater.
I said there was absolutely no problem with my water heater before you guys came in.
Finally, she called a local plumbing company, which diagnosed the problem, a burned-out safety switch.
It's down there, that valve.
So don't let this happen to you. If you suspect utility work has caused a problem, contact your utility immediately. Also, call the contractor if you know their name. Most will try to help. And this mom is grateful she'll soon have hot water.
I have a child with special needs. We need to take showers.
Bottom line, if you have an issue after utility work, try to find the name of the company that did the job, then contact their offices immediately so you don't waste your money. I'm John Mattery. Good morning, Indiana.
John, thank you. For more money-saving tips and ideas, you can visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com.
Well, dogs could add years to your life. That's according to a new research study from the University of Toronto. The researchers there found that the dog owners had lowered risk of dying early by 24%. So for those who already had a heart attack, the risk of dying was actually lowered by 31%. A major factor could be that pet owners who walk their dogs got up to 30 minutes of exercise each day. Studies also show that petting dogs can reduce blood pressure, anxiety, and depression.
This morning, Ellen DeGeneres is defending her friendship with former President George W. Bush. Up next in the Trending 6, the message she wants you to hear.
And we're keeping a close eye on your commute. Good morning to you down in Greenwood, I-65 here at the Main Street exit. You can see traffic is moving along just fine this morning. Stick around. We'll have more news and traffic coming up just after the break.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back. It is 6:23 on your Wednesday, and we're keeping a close eye on traffic. Here's a look on the northwest side. No problems on I-65 at 38th Street. We'll continue to keep you updated on any issues.
Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
And these are some of the stories that everyone's going to be talking about and sharing today, and of course, you're going to want to know about them. One of the most storied names in the whiskey game is trying something new. Check out these Scotch whiskey pods from Glenlivet. The alcohol is encased in this edible capsule made from seaweed. The company says the pods deliver the perfect flavor explosion experience. No glass required. Lots of people say they look just like Tide Pods. You gotta know about that.
Probably not a good idea to throw that in your washing machine.
Yeah.
Apparently, the engine compartment of a Kia Sorento is the perfect winter storage place for more than 200 nuts. Holly and Chris Persick of Pittsburgh say squirrels stuff more than 200 walnuts and tons of grass under the hood of Holly's car. Holly discovered the stockpile while driving on Monday. She smelled something she thought was like burning gas. Good news, no damage to the car. The bad news, however, the squirrels lost their winter stash.
Pretty big stockpile there. Well, Grandma's pumpkin pie recipe is changing. That is, if it comes off the side of a can. Libby's is changing its tried and true recipe. The canned pumpkin maker's new recipe calls for pretty much the same ingredients with a few extra cloves, a bit less sugar, and something new, condensed milk. The new recipe produces a creamier and spicier pie.
A group of collectors in New York are digging up old outhouses looking for artifacts. They call themselves privy diggers. Apparently in the 1800s, folks disposed of their trash under their outhouses. Historians say they've dug up pocket watches, porcelain dolls, and historic bottles. But believe it or not, the group says there is no health risk to digging up old outhouses. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Well, the show must go on, right? This Arizona high school marching band proved that old saying when the sprinklers interrupted their show. Corona del Sol's band and color guard was performing at the game in Tempe when this happened. Spectators there showed their appreciation with a rousing applause. To the performers' credit, they didn't skip a beat, continuing to play through the spray, and eventually the band was instructed to reset their performance.
Hey, it's like 90 still in Phoenix, so that probably felt really good.
Hopefully the instruments are okay.
Yes. Ellen DeGeneres is defending herself against the backlash over her appearance at the Dallas Cowboys football game on Sunday. Ellen was seen sitting next to former President George W. Bush at the Dallas Cowboys football game. She says she was invited by Jerry Jones' daughter to the game and is friends with George Bush. Ellen says she's friends with a lot of people who do not have the same beliefs as her, and she believes in being kind to everyone.
Something else that's being kind to us this week is the weather forecast. And our Alyssa Donovan.
Yeah, I'm being nice, but I'm bringing the weather. That's why you guys think I'm so nice this week.
Yeah, you're always
thank
nice.
you, Alyssa.
Well, we're going to see some beautiful. I am always nice. We're going to see
confident too.
We're going to see beautiful weather this week. Most of the week, I should say. 76 today, a beautiful day. It's very fall-like outside. Those temperatures continue to climb, though. Thursday, 79 degrees for the high, and then we start to drop off. Friday, that's when we have that potential of afternoon showers and thunderstorms overnight and into early Saturday morning. Do not cancel any Saturday plans, though, because that is likely going to be out of here by midday on Saturday. 56 for the high, though, that day, so we are cooling way off with those temperatures. Back into the 60s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's where we should be this time of year with those typical daytime highs.
Alyssa, thank you. A school superintendent is stepping down amid a coach controversy. Ahead at 5:30, call 6 ahead at 6:30. That is, call 6 investigates is looking into the sudden departure.
And we're keeping a close eye on your commute, and we'll let you know if there are any delays as you're heading out the door. This is I-70 near State Road 9, and everything is traveling up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. We'll keep you updated.
And this is a live look overlooking the Circle City on your Wednesday morning. A cool start to the day, but things will warm up. Alyssa Donovan will have more of your Storm Team 6 forecast after the break. We'll be right back.
Overs. Fish, yeah. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6:30, a strip mall catches fire overnight. We'll show you where it happened and what we know so far about what caused it.
A school superintendent stepping down amid controversy with the football coach. Why parents and teachers are frustrated with how the board is handling that issue. Kelsey.
I'm Kelsey Anderson, live outside Riley Children's Hospital with why doctors say you need to start thinking about getting your flu shot right now.
And it is 6:30 here. We're halfway through your work week this Wednesday morning. Thanks for waking up early with us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan here with us. Alyssa, it's another cold morning out there, but the good news, the sun is on its way and will warm things up.
Yes, it's going to be a beautiful day today, much like what we saw yesterday. Those temperatures climbing very quickly. We'll be into the 60s by the noon hour, and then we are into the low 70s this afternoon. A little bit above average, but we are starting cool again. 41 right now in Greencastle. It's 50 degrees in Indianapolis. Expect to go down a couple more degrees here in Indy as well. 38 in Crawfordsville. You are a cool spot on the map once again this morning, and that cool air is all due to that ridge of high pressure in place. That is still in control today, and it will still be in control tomorrow. So we had those clear skies overnight, allowed us to cool way down. You can see just to the south of us right now, we do have a few clouds moving in from Kentucky. Those are going to continue to spread to the northwest throughout the day today. So we'll see just a little bit of cloud coverage by this afternoon. Nothing to expect us from, nothing to prevent us rather from warming up. We're still going to see plenty of sunshine today. Just a few clouds filtering through as well. Starting today, we'll be in the 40s. We'll climb into the mid-60s by the noon hour.
All right, we're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a live look at I-65 from 38th Street on the northwest side. Traffic here is pretty quiet this morning. It's been a pretty quiet morning commute for you all over the metro area. Great news if you're heading out to work or school at this early hour.
We are following breaking news from downtown. That's where police are investigating a possible shooting. This all happened around 3 this morning at West Washington Street and South White River Parkway West Drive. Metro police say they got a call saying a man had jumped off the bridge into the White River. But when they arrived on scene, they found a man near the river with a gunshot wound to the head. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. At this hour, investigators are still trying to piece everything together.
More breaking news we are following overnight. Fire officials working to find out what caused a fire inside of a strip mall. This happened on the north side. This scene unfolded near 54th and Keystone around 1 o'clock this morning. Investigators say most of this fire damage was to the restaurant Mississippi Belle. The restaurant closed last night and no one was inside at the time of the fire. A few other businesses did have some smoke damage and thankfully no one was hurt.
One person was taken to the hospital after a shooting on the west side of Indianapolis. Officers and emergency crews were called to the 2000 block of North Dexter around 10 o'clock last night. The victim is in critical condition this morning. Police have not released the identity of that victim or possible suspects at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
At 6:33, a hearing today could determine if a woman accused of killing her 10-year-old stepdaughter is mentally competent to stand trial. Amanda Carmack is charged with murdering Skylee Carmack up in Gas City. Investigators say that Carmack hid the girl's body in a plastic bag and then reported her missing. After several days of searching, Skylee's remains were found last month. Amanda told investigators she killed Skylee because she was angry at her.
The superintendent of Northwest Hendricks School Corporation has resigned. The school board accepted Mike Springer's resignation at last night's board meeting. Springer is not saying why he's leaving, but the decision comes amid a criminal investigation into Tri-West football coach Tyler Bruce, who's accused of sexual misconduct with a student. Call 6 Investigates has been following the case for months now. Springer recommended the board fire Bruce, but the board decided to keep him. Many parents, community members, and even staff brought up the issue.
But what is hard is to see that the place I work at is going through this, and that no one has taken a stand to try and resolve it. It just looks like we're just shoving it under the rug. And my daughters are like, Mommy, why are you still working there?
I don't understand it. Wrong is wrong. This is wrong. Protect your teachers, protect your students, and get the bad ones out. It's corrupt.
Bruce has not been charged and denies any wrongdoing. Springer also recommended the board fire 2 other school employees in connection with the situation, but the board went against that recommendation as well. An attorney representing the family of the student accusing Bruce of misconduct released this statement. The board's insistence to ignore Mr. Springer at every turn is disappointing at best. Mr. Springer's actions showed concern for the students at Tri-West. The same cannot be said for the school board, end quote.
And at 6:35, the search continues for a hit-and-run driver who killed a teen boy on a motorbike nearly 1 month after the crash. A 14-year-old, Luis Daniel Patino Ortega, was killed on Coyle Street, that's near 64th and Michigan Road, back on September 11th. His mother hopes the driver turns themselves in. She also hopes changes will be made to prevent any future crashes. A longtime family friend helped translate for Luis's mother, telling RTV6 the family had concerns about speeding drivers on their dark street for a long time.
They didn't know who to call, who to reach out to, but they wanted to put speed bumps. And they kept saying someone is going to get hurt. God forbid someone should get killed out there.
Well, IPL tells RTV6 the city has submitted proposals to add streetlights on Coyle Street, and the family says they're not aware of any arrests in that case. So when the temperature starts to drop, more people start staying inside and getting sick.
Yeah, that's why doctors say it's important to start thinking about getting your flu vaccine right now. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live from outside of Riley Hospital for Children this morning. Kelsey, doctors say it's important to get your flu shot early if you can.
Yeah, that's right. I spoke with a doctor here at Riley, and he says if you haven't already gotten your flu shot, it's important that you start thinking about getting it right now before the flu season gets into full swing. Dr. James Wood says if you wait until you or other people around you get the flu, it's a little too late to get the vaccine because it won't be as effective. He tells me a common misconception they hear is people thinking they got the flu from the vaccine. He says that's not true, and even if you do get the flu, the vaccine can make the symptoms mild.
Even though the flu vaccine varies year to year and how effective it is in preventing flu, we do know that it's very effective at keeping people out of the hospital. So even if you get the flu but you've been vaccinated, it's really effective at keeping it kind of more mild. So.
Dr. Wood says children younger than 6 months old cannot receive the flu vaccine. That's why they recommend pregnant mothers get the shot so their newborn will be protected. We've got a list of walk-in clinics for flu shot clinics happening in Marion County for the month of October over on the RTV6 News app. Live in Indianapolis, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Well, the CDC says that most pregnant women are not receiving a recommended part of their routine prenatal care. Health officials say moms-to-be are not getting the flu and whooping cough vaccines. According to the CDC, more than half pregnant women reported receiving both vaccines. Experts say that the mom's vaccines can protect their babies during a time when the infants are still too young to get the vaccinations. The CDC's report claims that not getting the vaccines puts the moms and future newborns at a greater risk of infection, hospitalization, and even death.
A showdown in Washington. The president saying he will not cooperate with the impeachment investigation in the House. We'll show you how both sides are digging in for a fight.
Online sports betting is now legal here in the state of Indiana, and last weekend it turned out to be a big money-making weekend for a whole lot of Colts fans. We'll show you how it put a dent in the pocketbook of a big name in sports gambling. Alyssa.
And we have a beautiful fall day today. Tomorrow, another nice one before we see some changes in the forecast late Friday and into Saturday. I'll have all those details coming up. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Prices at Ross. Yes for less.
Welcome back. It is 6:41, and we're keeping a very close eye on your morning commute. This is a live look on the northeast side, I-465 and I-69. You can see here traffic is picking up both northbound and southbound on your interstate, so everything is moving along just fine. No issues to slow you down. Well, the White House says it will not cooperate with the impeachment investigation. The House there is investigating President Trump.
President Trump directly intervened, blocking a key witness from testifying on Tuesday. And as ABC's Inez de la Cotera tells us, Democrats say that's more evidence the president is trying to obstruct justice.
In a scathing letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the White House declaring it will not cooperate with the impeachment inquiry, writing the investigation is dangerous, illegitimate, and a violation of fundamental fairness. Pelosi responding overnight, calling the president's decision only the latest attempt to cover up his betrayal of our democracy and to insist that the president is above the law, setting the stage for a showdown between the White House and Congress as the State Department blocked the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, from testifying on Capitol Hill.
The failure to produce this witness, the failure to produce these documents, we consider yet additional strong evidence of obstruction.
Sondland reportedly worked behind the scenes to help carry out Trump's wishes in Ukraine. House Democrats have now issued a subpoena for Sondland's testimony and documents. Meanwhile, ABC News is learning a White House official who listened in on Trump's phone call with the president of Ukraine described it as crazy and frightening. This, according to that whistleblower at the heart of the impeachment inquiry. According to a Washington Post Schar School poll, 58% of Americans now support impeachment, up from 37% in July. But the president's strongest supporters are still standing by him.
What we see in this impeachment is a kangaroo court, and Chairman Schiff is acting like a malicious Captain Kangaroo.
Both sides now gearing up for a long fight, with the White House tapping former South Carolina Congressman Trey Gowdy to serve as outside counsel to the president during impeachment proceedings. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Time right now, 6:43. The fifth Democratic presidential debate officially set on the calendar. The Democratic National Committee says it'll be held in Georgia on November 20th. So far, 8 candidates have already qualified, including former President Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and this debate will be hosted by CNN and MSNBC and the Washington Post. Before that, 12 candidates will face off in the fourth debate held on Tuesday of next week. That debate will be hosted by CNN and the New York Times. That one's set for Ohio. Well, Bernie Sanders says that he'll be at next week's debate, but he also says he plans to scale back his campaign following a recent heart attack. The Vermont senator is back home after having stents installed to open up the blocked arteries. Sanders turned 78 last month, and he told reporters he won't be able to keep up with the robust schedule that he has kept during the campaign, as well as his presidential run in 2016. He says he'll still have an active campaign, but he admits his heart scare will raise some questions about his health with some of the voters.
More than 8 million people in the workforce will now watch and likely wait until next June to see if the Supreme Court rules that businesses can't fire them because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. During 2 hours of lively arguments on Tuesday, the justices grappled with the question of whether the 1964 Civil Rights Act that bars job discrimination based on sex also covers the LGBTQ community. The court heard 3 cases from people who were fired from their jobs. 2 were fired because they were gay, while the third lost her job when she announced she was transitioning to become a woman. Indiana is one of many states where firing someone over their sexual orientation is still not outlawed. New this morning, former students at a for-profit college say Education Secretary Betsy DeVos violated a federal judge's order over their old student loans. Last month, the U.S. Department of Education admitted that it sought collections on thousands of loans for students at Corinthian College. The for-profit school shut down in 2015 after an investigation showed the school was enticing students to take out tens of thousands of dollars in private loans. A court order had barred the Education Department from trying to collect on those loans. This week, former students asked a judge to hold DeVos and her department in contempt.
At 6:45, the first weekend of mobile sports betting is in the books here in Indiana. It opened up on Thursday. We've learned that DraftKings paid out more than $300,000 to people right here in the Hoosier State who bet on the Colts to beat the Chiefs Sunday night. DraftKings is one of 2 available options for mobile sports betting. A representative says the company is taking steps to cater to the Indiana market.
We'll continue to educate. We'll continue to make sure that there's fabulous content out there. We will adapt our site as we see what people in Indiana want to see.
Indiana is the 3rd state to allow for mobile sports betting after New Jersey and West Virginia. As you're heading out the door here to start your Wednesday, I'm betting on a pretty good dog walking forecast.
Yeah, and looks like Rose there is ready to hit the pavement and get a good walk in this morning, Alyssa.
Yes, Ginger Rose is ready for that walk.
Ginger Rose, I couldn't see that
She's wearing a very cute bandana. She's ready for it, and we are ready for it too. It's going to be a perfect day to get outside for that dog walking forecast. Temperatures starting a little cool this morning. We're in the 40s in some locations, and then we are climbing into the mid-60s by the noon hour, 70s this afternoon. So we have clear skies, and that's helped us cool way down overnight, and that is due to that high pressure still in control today. We were talking about it yesterday, and it's still going to be in control tomorrow, keeping us dry and cool to start and warm as we head into the afternoon. Just to the south of us, though, we do have this cloud coverage that's making its way into some areas to the south. That's going to continue to move northwest into central Indiana throughout the day. So we'll just see a little bit of cloud coverage by the afternoon. Still going to see plenty of sunshine though, so we are still going to see those warmer temperatures. That will start to move in by the noon hour, which is when we'll hit right around 66 degrees, a little cooler to the north where we're going to continue to see those clear skies. Temperatures today will climb into the mid 70s with mostly sunny conditions throughout your day. So next we have some changes coming in. That high pressure stays in control today and tomorrow. While that's going on here in the Midwest, off to the northwest, we have this low pressure system that's building. That's bringing winter storms to Montana right now, and that's going to continue to amplify as it moves towards the Midwest and build. What that will do is bring us the potential of showers and storms to the Midwest by Thursday, moving into Indiana by Friday. Likely we'll see that activity in the afternoon and overnight into early Saturday morning. What this is going to do is bring us the potential of some showers, possibly some heavy rainfall, and also the possibility of some strong thunderstorms. So it's a good time to get that Storm Shield app so you are prepared for what's coming. And of course, we'll be warning you here at RTV6. The good news is it will move out quickly by Saturday. The only concern is going to be some cooler temperatures. We're going to see that mild air move out, and this cooler air mass is going to settle in by Saturday afternoon. That's going to take our temperatures way down for Saturday. We'll start in the 40s in the morning, and then we'll climb only into the mid 50s for your Saturday afternoon. Just a spot chance of a stray shower in the morning, but besides that, we'll start to see sunshine by the afternoon as well. Good chance we'll see our first frost either Saturday or Sunday morning of the season. By Sunday, those temperatures starting to climb back to where they should be this time of year, into the mid 60s. So today, as you're heading out this morning, I would grab a light jacket because we're still in the 40s, climbing to the 60s by noon and low 70s this afternoon and into the early evening. Tomorrow, still warming, upper 70s for our daytime high, partly sunny skies. Then those afternoon showers and storms come in late Friday and into early Saturday morning, likely before you wake up. Much cooler on Saturday though, with highs only in the 50s.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We want to give you a look at your commute right now. This is downtown I-65 and I-70 at the South Split. Traffic is moving along just fine here in all directions. Right now, no crashes to report around the metro area. Great news if you're heading out the door to start your Wednesday.
The Tampa Bay Rays aren't going down without a fight against the team with the best record in Major League Baseball this year. The Astros brought out ace Justin Verlander on 3 days rest, but it didn't work out. Tommy Pham and Willie Adames each hit home runs off Verlander before he was pulled in the fourth inning. The Rays went on to win the game 4-1 to even their series at 2 games apiece. The deciding Game 5 will be tomorrow in Houston.
Well, this may have been the play of the game last night. The Rays' Austin Meadows lines a foul ball into the stands down right field on the right field line, and check out a nice barehanded catch by a fan. But wait, not just any ordinary fan. That's actually Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end O.J. Howard. Apparently, it's just as easy to catch baseballs barehanded as it is football.
Hey, if that NFL thing doesn't work out,
yeah,
there you go.
Future in sports here.
Busting into a salon, and it wasn't for a quick cut. Next, the unwelcome visitor who left a permanent mark at a beauty shop.
And still to come, a frightening crane collapse, all caught on camera. Good Morning America comes up with homes damaged, at least one person injured, and how it could have been a whole lot worse. It's 6:51. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 6:53 here on your Wednesday, and this is a live look over on the east side where traffic's really picking up this morning. I-70 and Shadeland Avenue. No crashes here to slow you down.
A hair-raising experience at a New York salon caught on camera. It happened at the Beautiful Hair Salon on Long Island. A deer crashed through the front window and scurried around before fleeing the shop. A woman sitting on a couch near the window was hit by the flailing animal, as you can see there.
Right.
The shop owner said she thought a car had crashed into the salon. Authorities believe the deer made its way from a nearby wooded area. Other than the shattered window, the owner said there was no significant damage to the salon. No one inside was seriously injured, and there's no word on the deer's condition. It was just
like
going to get a conditioning treatment, a blowout maybe.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
No big deal there. Well, 2 Florida men, they were arrested last week for, you could say, a very Florida type of crime. The Martin County Sheriff's Department says that one of the men captured a gator The other then enticed the gator to bite his arm, and after it did, the man poured beer down the gator's throat. Needless to say, the gator was probably not too happy about that. Timothy Kepke and Noah Osborne were caught because they, of course, shot this all on video and posted it online. Both men told investigators they did have a couple beers themselves before capturing the gator, but they both claimed they were not intoxicated at the time.
Come on, guys. Everyone knows that gators only drink Gatorade.
That's right.
That's the issue here. That's why it got so mad.
All right. Well, Mr. Rogers used to teach us that it's okay to be angry. You just need to find an appropriate outlet to channel all of that frustration.
The Philadelphia Flyers hockey team has perhaps exactly what you're looking for. The Flyers created what it calls a disassembly room to let fans express their urge for destruction in a contained environment. The space is inside the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. You'll be able to destroy items like guitars, televisions, and dishware using a variety of tools from baseball bats to hockey sticks.
It's the first ever so-called rage room built inside of a major professional sports arena, but it isn't exactly new. The concept was first seen about 10 years ago in Japan, and it's since spread to the U.S. The rage room will only be open during or after Flyers home games. 5 minutes of smashing is going to cost you $35 for one person or $60 for two people.
Yeah, I would not want to go in there with someone else.
No, I feel like that's a one-person type thing for safety reasons.
Better there than at your own house, though.
And that was our favorite mascot, right, for the Flyers? The orange guy. What's his name?
No, I don't know.
Producer Ray, the crazy mascot. We've done stories about him
Philly
before.
Fanatic. No.
Is that it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
No.
I don't know. I feel like we've seen that guy before, and I don't know what he's supposed to be, but I like him.
But I don't know what he is, but he's funny looking.
He is funny. Yeah, I can't remember, but we've seen
How
him
many
before.
news gals does it take to figure out sports?
I know. 3
All
apparently.
right. Yes.
Maybe. All right. We do want to talk about the weather, though. It's something we know a lot about. It's going to be nice today.
We're going to have a beautiful day today. We're going to continue to see this nice weather tomorrow as well. So today's a day you want to get outside and enjoy. Mostly sunny throughout our Wednesday. Starting a little cool this morning. You might want a light jacket as you head out. Those temperatures are in the 40s right now. We'll climb into the mid-70s this afternoon. That is a little bit above average. Usually we're in the upper 60s by now. So we are once again a little bit spoiled. Upper 70s for Thursday. Then those chances of showers and thunderstorms move in Friday. Much cooler on Saturday. 56 for the high. Those overnight lows dropping into the low 40s and upper 30s to the north. We might see our first frost over this weekend. So it's dropping off quite a bit.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. And thanks for joining us. We're back here during Good Morning America.
Have a great rest of your Wednesday.